Hello and welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be going over our Solar 3.0 Hunter build. Going to be a lot of fun, a lot of knives to be thrown. Let's check it out. So obviously we'll start with the aspects here. We're going first with Gunpowder Gamble. I know you're kind of wondering why that. A little bit of extra burst damage from that grenade, getting some use out of it, and we'll get on to why that's important a little bit later. However, the aspect that makes this entire build run is going to be Knock 'em Down. While Radiant, final blows with your equipped throwing knife fully refund the melee energy. So, get a kill with your melee, get your melee back instantly. It's a win-win situation there. You get Radiant as well, a little bit of healing. That's what we're looking for to keep us alive when we're in the fray, right? So let's move on to the fragments that we have here. Because we're running Gambler's Gunpowder Gamble, we do not have a ton of slots here, so the aspects that we pick have to be very, very important. Number one is going to be Ember of Empyrean. Solar weapon or ability final blows extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you. So what that's going to do is every time you get a knife kill, boom, extend that restoration, keep it going. We want this to basically never run out. Radiant, never want it gone. We want to keep it on us all the time. Ember of Torches is the next fragment we're going to be looking at. Powered melee attacks against combatants make you and other nearby allies radiant. This is what procs that healing. This is what keeps you going. A little bit of a damage buff there too. So we want to keep going with that. Ember of Benevolence is going to be the next one we're using, and the reason we're using this one is it grants you and allies increased grenade, melee, and class ability regen for a short duration while applying Restoration, Cure, or Radiant. So we're going to be constantly getting back our stuff. Perfect. Alright, and next for the subclass setup, this is a little bit subjective, but the main thing you're going to want to be running here is Knife Trick. Knife Trick is going to be the ultimate kind of melee here that we're looking for. It's going to be a nice fan out of 3 blades that apply Scorch when they hit a target. We're hoping to kill and target with those and constantly get those back, as mentioned with the knock 'em down aspect before. So with the dodge, I'm running Gambler's Dodge personally. That way anytime I dodge near an enemy, I get another knife charge back. Super, super helpful, especially if you miss, because it's not often you'll miss if you're right up in, your enemy's face, but it is definitely possible. There are Taken that teleport, things like that. So this is just a nice little safety net to have. Jump, obviously run whatever you want, and with Grenade, we're running Trip Mine here for the Gunpowder Gamble. That's going to give you a very big burst of damage every once in a while, especially after getting about 2 kills with your solar knives, whenever your charge is ready, okay? For Solar, I'm running Blade Barrage, and the reason I'm running that is because I like to have a nice short burst damage, kind of get back into the fray with everything. So Blade Barrage works perfect for me. It's basically Celestial Nighthawk without having to run it, right? Okay, moving on to exotics. So there are multiple different exotics you can use. I'm currently running Ophadia Spaith, and the reason I'm running it is it grants you 2 knife charges. Perfect for me. It allows me to constantly be able to throw knives out. I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm, hitting a target, miss a target, whatever. It's like another safety net of Gambler's Dodge. It also puts out a decent amount more damage when you're able to throw 2 knife charges at 1 enemy and say you don't get the kill. On the first one, you have that second one to do the extra damage, the extra Scorch, and you're kind of good from there. However, some of the other ones that you may be looking to use, especially if you don't have Ophadia Spaith, would be Assassin's Cowl. Power melee kills and finishers grant invisibility and healing. So not only do you get to go invisible, you have some extra healing in there, which is super, super nice. Obviously, Shards of Galanor is a huge one that everybody's running. Get super energy back for your Blade Barrage hits. Now that one does kind of put you more into the Blade Barrage only perspective, but however, really, really good exotic you can use. Young Ahamkara's Spine. Ability damage grants enhanced trip mines, and what that means is your trip mine blast radius is increased and you regain grenade energy faster. So if you like having that extra boost of damage from the gunpowder gamble, you like the way that feels, Young Ahamkara's Spine is only going to make those grenades better. Now we've got two here that are going to fall under the same category, Six Coyote and Radiant Dance Machines. Basically what these are going to do is allow you to have multiple dodges at a time. With Six Coyote you get a second charge, with Radiant Dance Machines you can dodge multiple times in succession. Not sure what the timer is on that one, but gives you two different kind of similar avenues you can go down for this playstyle. Alright, now let's talk mods, because mods are going to be one of the big things for this build. Obviously, you want to be running the seasonal artifact mod, Classy Restoration. Classy Restoration is the main thing that's going to be keeping you alive throughout this build. However, we're also going to be running Well of Life. Picking up a Solar Elemental Well grants increased regeneration for a short period of time. Now, you may be asking, how are we going to make those wells? And that's where Explosive Well Maker comes in. Rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawns a Solar Elemental Well. This is key to the build. This is what makes your elemental wells for you. Every time you throw a knife, get a knife kill, you are going to be dropping elemental wells, which are perfect because that triggers your Well of Life. It's also going to trigger Font of Wisdom, our next mod. Picking up an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type, in this case solar, grants you a temporary and significant increase to your intellect. This gives you tier 10 intellect, which is the highest intellect, basically instantly for a couple of seconds. So we're going to be getting our supers at a way faster rate than we typically would without having to spec too much into your intellect here. Obviously my stats are kind of doo-doo. Haven't been playing on my hunter this season, so excuse me. I'm going to work on getting him that Solstice armor soon. The next mod we're going to be running is Elemental Ordnance. Defeating a combatant with a grenade spawns an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type. When you're doing that huge burst damage with Gunpowder Gamble, this is going to be where it comes into play. It's going to create you more elemental wells, get your healing going, get your damage output going a little good, and of course, our last one, Melee Wellmaker. Powered melee combatant final blows spawn elemental wells matching your subclass type energy. Essentially, our entire build's trying to feed into itself. Make sure you can get those knife charges back to back to back to back to back, and that's going to be the build. Hopefully you guys have some fun with it. Feel free to let me know if there's any changes you personally would make, and I'll see you in the next one.